What if I told you that every single tragedy in Finding Nemo can be traced back to the dad, Marlin? Marlin is not the hero of the story. In fact, Marlin is the reason there is even a story in the first place. Let's start from the very beginning. The opening scene, because every single piece of evidence I am about to walk you through begins here. Marlin and Coral are in their new home, and the location of their home was chosen by Marlin. Why did Marlin choose this location?
Because a lot of other clownfish had their eyes on this place.
You better believe they did. Every single one of them.
He is the one talking about the view. He is leading the entire moment. Then the barracuda appears. What does Marlin do when he sees the barracuda? He freezes. He hesitates. He tells Coral in a panicked whisper to go back inside the house.
Don't. They'll be fine. Just get inside. You, right now.
Imagine telling a newborn mom to abandon her kids and go into the safety of the home. Of course, Coral did not listen and went after her kids. Coral is the parent who went to the eggs to protect them. She's the parent who acts. Marlin instead got himself knocked out. It's also so convenient that Marlin got knocked unconscious. I blacked out. I couldn't protect my wife and 400 kids. Who even gets knocked out from that small slap? When he wakes up, Coral is gone. The eggs are gone. The barracuda is gone. We don't see anybody. We don't see any struggle happen on the screen. Just an empty home and a damaged egg. The only witness to the assault, Marlin says with total confidence that he knows what happened even though he was unconscious during the actual attack. Now think how this would play out in any other movie. In any other genre where the only survivor of a violent attack is the spouse, he will be the prime suspect. But here the spouse claims to have been knocked out. Okay, even if you were knocked out, where are the signs of struggle in the home? That must have been one hungry barracuda, because we find no bodies, no evidence of a grievous crime happening. Just one suspiciously fortunate survivor and a broken egg. In any other story, the police would have a lot of questions. Where are even all the neighbors we saw at the beginning of the movie? We don't see them during the day after the barracuda shows up, and later at night when Marlin wakes up. Pixar gives Marlin a pass because he is the protagonist. I am not going to give him that pass. I want to know what really happened in that anemone, and I don't believe his versions of events. The deleted scenes, by the way, will agree with me. We will still get to those. But let us assume for a moment that the barracuda did exactly what Marlin says he did. The story still does not work in his favor, because the next thing it does is crazy to me. When he finds the only surviving egg, he names it Nemo.
We'll never let anything happen to you. Nemo.
Why does he name him Nemo? Let's go back 10 minutes earlier in the film, just before the attack happened. Coral and Marlin were picking names. Coral wanted to name half of their 400 kids Nemo. She wanted that name everywhere, a family of Nemos. Marlin pushed back on that. He wanted half of the kids to be named Marlin Jr. and the other half Coral Jr. So why does he decide to name the only surviving egg Nemo? I know all of you will say he named the egg Nemo because he was honoring his wife. Well, I don't agree. Do you know how much pressure he's putting on the shoulder of little Nemo? He's collapsing 200 children's worth of coral wishes into one fish. At this point, Nemo is no longer a name. Nemo is a memorial that this surviving fish has to wear for the rest of his life. I don't know if there are fish therapists in the ocean, because Nemo definitely needs one after living with a dad like Marlin. Remember that Nemo's egg was cracked. The right side was scraped. So when Nemo hatched, his right fin was underdeveloped, and Marlin will reference it constantly for the rest of the film.
Answer the stripe question.
3.
No! See, something's wrong with you. I have 1, 2, 3. That's all I have.
Every single time Nemo wants to do something, Marlin invokes the fin. He's not a strong swimmer. He has a little fin. Be gentle with him. Watch him closely. Make sure he takes breaks. Marlin treats this fin like a serious medical condition. For God's sake, Nemo can swim quite well. Give him a break. The fin is what Marlin pulls out of his back pocket every time he wants to take Nemo's autonomy away. Let me put on my psychologist hat for a minute and therapize Marlin. Nemo's fin is a daily reminder of the night Caro died. Nemo was not just born small. Nemo was scarred from the attack, so every time Marlin looks at his son, he is reminded of the moment he failed to protect his family. And every time, he uses that fin as a reason to say no. He is using his own trauma to justify control over his child.
What are you insane? Why don't we just fry him up now and serve him with chips?
Hey, Marty, calm down.
This is what therapists will call enmeshment, and the film documents it in roughly 100% of the scenes Marlin and Nemo share.
You know you can't swim well.
I can swim fine, Dad, okay?
No.
Nemo is not just Marlin's son. He is also Marlin's coping mechanism. The scene where Marlin resumes school for the first time shows this perfectly.
It's his first time at school.
He was born with it, kids. We call it his lucky fin.
Dad.
After Marlin drops off Nemo reluctantly at school, he hides and is still monitoring Nemo's movements. Is that not just crazy?
What's that?
Nemo and his new friend spot a boat in the distance while playing at the edge of the reef, and they were talking about the boat. Out of nowhere, Marlin shows up, and before Nemo has done anything, before Nemo touched the boat, before Nemo has even decided whether he's going to swim out or not, Marlin starts yelling. He embarrasses his son in front of the entire class. The other kids even had to step in to defend Nemo.
Sorry, he wasn't gonna go. Yeah, he was too afraid.
And they weren't lying either. Nemo was afraid. He remembered his dad's teaching and was not willing to enter the open water. But Marlin did not listen. He tells Nemo that he cannot swim well, that Nemo thinks he can do things he cannot do, and he was about to swim into the open water when in fact, by the testimony of multiple witnesses, he was not. Marlin invents a crime that had not happened. He prosecutes Nemo for a crime that was never committed.
Nemo swimming out the sea!
It was only after this, after being publicly humiliated by his own father in front of his entire class, only after being told he is fragile and incapable, does Nemo turn around and swim to the boat to touch it. And I don't blame Nemo either. After your dad has embarrassed you in front of your peers, you want to show off to get your dignity back.
Nemo!
Nemo did not go to touch the boat because he was reckless. He touched the boat because Marlin made him. So if you put two and two together, Nemo getting abducted was all Marlin's fault. Marlin held the loaded gun and Nemo just pulled the trigger. At one point in the cartoon, Marlin almost came to this realization.
And maybe he wouldn't have done it if I hadn't been so tough on him. I don't know. Anyways,
If Marlin had given Nemo some space, he wouldn't have swum into the open water to prove to his dad that he wasn't weak. And he wouldn't have gotten abducted on his way back. When Nemo gets snatched up by that diver, Marlin is dazed like he cannot understand what just happened. But we all saw what just happened, and we've been watching it the entire scene. Marlin used his own mouth to put himself in trouble. And the pattern does not stop there. It does not stop in the reef. The pattern follows him across the entire ocean. Everywhere Marlin goes, the people who help him end up worse off. He runs into Bruce, the great white shark trying to stay clean and abstain from eating fish. Bruce is in recovery. Bruce is doing the work. He even has sponsors who are helping him through the process so he doesn't relapse.
If I am to change this image, I must first change myself.
But within 10 minutes of the fish's meeting, Marlin caused Dory to bleed in front of a recovering predator, and Bruce relapses on the spot.
ooh, that's
It's like giving a recovering crack addict the purest white ball in existence. Marlin's anxiety and constant panic attacks, his inability to keep it together for 30 seconds blow up an entire support group of sharks who were just trying to be better. Bruce ends up chasing them through a minefield and accidentally detonates actual munitions.
Swim away!
Marlin is literally pushing sharks to set off bombs in the ocean, and you are telling me he is not the villain of the film. Then there is Dory. Dory finds him in his lowest moments, offers him help, offers him companionship, and offers him her one functional skill, which is reading the diver's address. And what does Marlin do? He drags her through every single hazard the ocean has to offer. He gets her stung by jellyfish so bad that she nearly dies. He gets her swallowed by a whale. He berates her, doubts her, talks down to her, and multiple times tries to leave her behind.
It's just, but I don't want you with me.
Marlin is so damn pessimistic. He's such a drag to be around.
No, you're insane. You can't speak whale. I have to get out.
And the crazy part was that she did speak whale.
Okay.
Dory!
When he believes her and takes a leap of faith, they get blown out from the whale's belly via its blowhole to safety. Dory is the main hero in this film for having to endure Marlin. The scene where he was shouting at her and called her Nemo in anger made me so sad.
You think you could do these things, but you can't, Nemo!
By the end of the film, the woman who had saved his life multiple times is more confused, more disoriented, more lost than when he met her. Everywhere this fish swims, there is a small disaster behind him and he never looks back. Now, let's get to my strongest piece of evidence. If you have been on the fence so far in this video, you will agree with my theory after this section. Pixar made the opening scene of the movie softer than it was supposed to be. Let me say that again. Pixar made Marlin softer than they had originally written him. In the original draft of the opening, Marlin witnessed the barracuda attack with his own eyes. He was supposed to see it happen. He was supposed to be conscious. The original Marlin was more aggressive, more confrontational, more of an active participant in the attempted defense of his family. Pixar changed it. They gave him the convenient blackout. In fact, the entire opening sequence was not originally meant to be at the start of the film. Coral's death was supposed to be revealed gradually through flashbacks in the back half of the film. The team only put it at the beginning after a test screening went badly. They moved the dead wife to the front of the film for one reason and one reason only. They needed the audience to feel sorry for Marlin before we got to know Marlin's character. Without that opening scene, most of us will feel annoyed with Marlin's behavior. The death of his family allowed us to tolerate him. Take that away and he is a nightmare. Pixar accidentally made a movie where the protagonist is the antagonist, and then they edited it just enough to obscure that fact. This is the real story Finding Nemo is telling. It is a film about a man who watched his family die, who blamed himself and then turned that blame into control. Marlin is the villain of Finding Nemo. The little orange clownfish is the villain. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe because I have many more videos lined up. Until next time, make sure you watch your father carefully.